about those pesky, stupid little ants that keep coming up out of your garden and your lawn this time of year and bite you.
Gotta love it. Okay, so what is this question about those pesky little creatures?
That somebody was bitten by several red ants on their leg. No allergic reaction, but red blisters that itch and hurt like crazy. What suggestions do you have?
Okay, to the newbie to Central Florida. Okay, they call these fire ants for a reason. Okay, red ant bites are a little bit different. They don't typically blister. Okay, so like if you're bitten by some of these other creatures, you're not going to see the vesicles. They're all like fluid-filled sacs over a red base. Okay, now here's when I first moved here. Okay, I was out back, because I came down here to retire basically, and I'm sitting out back with the other retired women. You gotta love it, it's because I'm sitting out by the lake taking my dog for a walk, and I got my feet were just blistered, bitten up, and I had no idea what I had done. And so the women that were out there, I said, hey, look, I don't know what's going on here, but my feet are hurting like the dickens. I got these bites all over the darn place. What could this be? And I'm thinking fleas because I have this dog, right? Okay. And they go, oh, no, they're fire ant bites. I went, what's a fire ant? I thought I was pretty smart. They go, oh, well, that's that thing you're standing in, I'm thinking, okay, this is not going to end well. So in any event, I'm looking at this progression of illness where the pain is miserable. Then you get the vesiculation, and then the burning ensues. Now, what happens is these little critters kick out a toxin that causes vasoconstriction, and this in turn causes like a micro gangrene. All right, so people tell you, oh, there are all kinds of things you can do to fix it. Well, what I did, having found nothing that worked, was I went and did a little experiment, and I stood on a darn fire ant mound. And I did it once a week until I figured out what it would take to block it.
Ouch.
Okay. Oh yeah. This was. Well, I had nothing else to do because I was retired, right? Okay. And what I found. Okay. And I was going to write this up. I never did, but I found that if you took something called nifedipine. Now, nifedipine is a calcium channel blocker used to treat hypertension, actually. And so you mix it up in something called pluronic lecithin organogel, or PLO. It's an unfortunate abbreviation if you're a history buff. But so you take nifedipine, 16% in PLO, add 1% hydrocortisone, and something called flurbiprofen. And you mix the stuff up, you slap it down, and the pain goes away in about 20 seconds. If you catch it before they blister, they will not blister. Okay, this is magical stuff. And I still have some that I made up almost 10 years ago, and it still works. Gosh. So in terms of its shelf life, it's pretty astronomical. It does need to be compounded. There's only one pharmacy in town that I trust to do it. And when I send the script out, it's for nifedipine, 16% in PLO with hydrocortisone and flurbiprofen. And you keep the stuff in a little jar, you dab it down, and away it goes. The longer you wait, the harder it is to undo it. But if they're already vesiculated, it'll still help, but the vesicles will remain for a short period of time.
What is that white pussy area that looks like a teenager's pimple when you get those bites?
That's the vesicle. And what happens is that the bite goes in. It's a toxin that gets released. It's not an allergic reaction. Okay, now how did I figure this thing out? Because when I started off with the nifedipine, which is a vasodilator, it prevented it, right? The hydrocortisone just gives you immediate relief, and then the flurbiprofen is an anti-inflammatory. But the purulence that's in there really isn't purulent at all. It's serum. It's an exudate from the bite. That's all.